Why would they want you to succeed? So the teachers you are volunteering to help them, they want you to succeed, right? Unlike all the other people who you have never helped, these people want you to succeed because you have helped them. This is how you turn the table. All the people in your network don't want to help you because you have never added any value to them. They don't trust you because you have not done anything for them. Why should they trust you? What opportunities have you opened for them that you are expecting them to open up opportunities for you, right? Most people are so closed, and you have never helped anyone, and then you expect other people to come and open opportunities for you. Not going to happen. If you have no answers to these questions, you cannot succeed in networking. Networking is not possible if you are not adding value to other people. Adding value is the most critical aspect of building a network. All of you know one or two such idiots who are connected with everybody in the world, but nobody cares about them. You know such people who goes and connects with everyone, talks to everyone, and thinks that they are popular and knows everyone, but nobody actually cares about them because they are of no use. They never do anything useful for anyone. Correct? So adding value is the most critical aspect of building a network. Being exposed to a lot of people is superb. So it is very good that you have found a way to talk to many people, meet many people see you, many people know your name. All of this is great. Okay, but that is not enough. What value did they derive from you? Did you do something that they derive some value for some reason? Have you done something for them that they like you? You can even add value to people by going and writing some encouraging comments on their posts. You can even provide value by, I don't know, by doing whatever they need at that moment. But remember one thing: if you make this all very transactional, you cannot succeed either. Okay, a lot of people are like, oh, I helped him with that, now why is he not helping me with this? And until he helps me, I will not help anyone anymore. This thing does not work because I helped that person and he did nothing for me. It does not work like this. It is not a good idea to keep accounts. Rather, give what you can give because you can give, right? And you have to, if you're a successful networker, it's your nature. Every opportunity you get, you give, you give to 100 people, 1,000 people, million people. If you can give to million people, you are already succeeded. If million people are benefiting from you, then your life is made. Okay, but if you are somehow, you haven't reached million yet, you are doing it for 100 people, even great, no problem. You have started and you can figure out to add value to more people. But you don't have to say yes when you have to say no. If you cannot do it, just say no. It's not like there is any compulsion that, oh, if you said no, you failed at networking. It's not like that. Something you can do, you do. Something you cannot do, say no. Ask for what you need. When you need it, you ask for what you need. And be courteous even if you hear a no. Somebody says no, somebody doesn't reply. Just move on, ask the next person. Someone else will probably say yes. Okay? Things that helped me to build a network when I was a law student. I'll quickly tell you how it helped and where it helped. Volunteering at startup events. I used to go to the startup events and volunteer there. Okay, Startup Saturday, some other ones. I would become I became a volunteer. I am a student. I am here to help you to organize this event. I attended first time. I liked it very much, and then I said, okay, I will volunteer here. I will come help you to organize this. I can't tell you how many amazing people I have met, amazing entrepreneurs I have met through these people. Sector 5, many people, many places. Go find, I don't know where. Find out where it happens. Startup events in your city. Google it. Don't ask me. Okay. Volunteering at startup events is one thing that really helped me. Okay. And nothing. I just, I just went. There was a Facebook. I saw a notification on Facebook and I got the address and I went. Right. I did not ask anyone how to go, where to go. Some places they might charge you a fee also to attend. You can go and tell the organizers that I don't have money to pay. If you don't have money, honestly, you can go and say that I don't have money, but I'll volunteer here. Okay, can I help you with some tasks? Every time there's an event, I'll come and help you. And it would help you, right, to connect with so many people. And I was able to connect with amazing entrepreneurs, investors, people who are still in my network, right, who are like very successful global entrepreneurs. And recently I wanted to talk to them about how to approach lawyers in USA about getting remote work for our students and Law Seco. So I called him and asked him, because he's somebody who has built a massive, outsourcing business, doing marketing or digital marketing, techie work from US, UK, Dubai, everywhere. So I approached him and I asked him that how do I do this, and he gave me great advice. In 2 minutes, I couldn't get that advice from anybody else because he knows exactly what to do, how to do. So he gave me that advice. So useful, right? And I met him for the first time in such startup events when I was a law student more than 10 years back. Writing a blog. Okay, yesterday I spoke to a lawyer in New York who's going to hire one student, actually 3 people on trial from Law Seco by somewhere this week, next week. Okay, if anybody, any law student applying, reach out to somebody. She's selecting. Okay, if you're good. And this is when I used to write blogs about CLAT, about all these things, and I ended up connecting with one law aspirant at that time. Okay, and I helped her over the next 1 year to prepare for those exams, and then she went to NLU Jodhpur. Okay, and now then she graduated, she worked in a law firm. Now she's a lawyer, M&A lawyer in New York. And I called her up not for hiring, but I called her up to get advice that, I am working on this, and I'm speaking to many lawyers these days in the USA for how to make this remote work happen for Indian lawyers, my students. So she said, "Oh, you called me at a good time. We are actually talking about hiring somebody from India to help us write articles. Can you connect me with somebody?" I said, "Sure, I'll connect you with our placement office." But look at this. Could you imagine when I was this is 2006, I connected with someone because I used to write blogs, and that relationship today is still helping me, right? How many years later? Attending conferences, right? This also helped a lot. I went for conferences, met people there, stayed in touch with them, mooting also for that matter, volunteering with IDEA. This is special because one of the people with whom I first started the company, apart from Abhyuday, Pratik Mohapatra at IPE Leaders, we were planning this in college. He was a student. At RML and for the first time I met was in a village called Jitholi, where IDIA, some of us were there. We had gone there to do a sensitization program. He had come from Lucknow, and there is where we met, and then we collaborated to do things later on. My first employee was also an IDIA volunteer. We actually, Amartya Bagh, we met through IDIA. We had mailed each other through IDIA. Later on, when I was hiring, he saw, but that connect helps, right? I was desperate that time for hiring my first employee. Nobody wanted to join such a young company with no track record, nothing. Today, many people want to work with us. Back then, nobody wanted to work. First employee, because we are connected through IDIA. Network matters, right? Connecting with co-interns. There are some people I interned with, I'm still connected with today. And they are partner in foreign law firms. They are partner in Indian law firms. They are doing amazing in their lives. We are all connected. Teaching for CLAT. I was teaching students, who are, many of them still, some of them interesting, like they were kids back then. I was also almost the same age as them. Some of them were getting divorced and they're calling me saying that I'm getting divorced. Can you help me with how do I manage? Okay, how can you recommend me a lawyer? People are still connected. Online presence. Okay, somebody I taught for CLAT, she did not become a lawyer. She became a PR agent. And I have hired her to do PR for my company in the past. Okay, or I have connected her with other lawyers who needed a PR agent. Right? So that's how it is. Online presence. Do you have an online presence? So my online presence really helped me to connect with a lot of people and get opportunities that way. How did that help? I could get internships. I have given examples. I have got internships in big law firms, not because I had contacts, but because my friend had contacts. They would help me. I have got internship with Ramchandra Guha, a noted historian. I really wanted that internship, and people connected me to get that internship, right? So my ex-girlfriend's classmate connected me with Ramchandra Guha to do an internship. Imagine connections, right? People, how this person's friend, that person's friend. But it requires credibility. It requires you to have added value to other people and to reach out. I could get freelance assignments from people, right? I had a friend. Anywhere I traveled in India, there was a time I didn't have money. I was a student and I had money, but then I preferred to stay with people, and I would, anywhere I went, I go to Rourkela, there will be a friend who lives there. If I go to Chennai, there's a friend. Uh, if I went to Bangalore for doing internship, I stayed with friends. Now imagine the possibilities, right? You can go anywhere and stay with friends. I learned a lot from them. More than anything, they have all taught me something or the other. I built things with them. I collaborated on projects, did events together, did stuff together, right? Got ideas together, discussed things together. Things that helped me as a lawyer to expand my network. That was a law student. In lawyer things, there were more things I did. Free helplines. Okay. Imagine you open a free helpline. I have run free helplines for so many things. For people who are facing revenge porn, I have run helpline for them. People who are victims of sexual exploitation and blackmailing, I have helped them also. Like just a free helpline, you can call anytime, will help you. Helpline for people, employees who are not getting paid on time, or not, their employers are not paying them and denying to pay them, right? Free helpline for people who are victims of fraud. Even I have done that. Speaking opportunities, right? So, this is also a great, when you become, maybe when you're a law student, it'll be difficult, but later on, when you're a lawyer, you can build a public personality, and you might be getting speaking opportunities. Never leave a speaking opportunity. Go and talk about things and become a speaker, because when you are talking from a stage or talking even at a webinar, wherever, you are impacting and adding value to a lot of people at once. You have an opportunity to add value to people at scale.